Hey there. Let's do it live on a Monday. Do we have a monitor, boys? Is the monitor here? Griff!
By the way, the good news is at least now I don't know what my hair situation. Although I had a couple days since the first shaving, so it's a little bit, it's in a little more. By the way, my mom,
I was running. I've been askew all day. I thought my internet was down, so I was.
Mine was down
to panic
for Friday and Saturday. Spectrum.
for multiple days.
Yeah, Spectrum. 2 days.
Not great.
I had a couple things happen to me this weekend that were outrageous.
Go.
Outrageous. Well, first is you don't realize when you don't have the internet. If you've cut the cord,
and
you're not watching the Masters.
Oh my!
You're not.
No, you're not. Well, you could probably do your app through your 5G, 4G.
But my phone, where we are, our cell service in our neighborhood is spot
dicey
at best.
Oh my gosh! No
So,
Wi-Fi.
No, but it came back. Fortunately, it came back like late Saturday night, so it was a full over 24 hours that it was out. So we ended up. I found some old DVDs, some Blu-rays.
Let's go.
So we fired up a couple of Blu-rays.
What did you go for? What were you in the mood for on a DVD? Wasn't that a beautiful thing?
I loved having a DVD collection.
Go dig into a DVD collection.
Yes.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Yes. I had a great DVD collection.
That's great.
It was, oh my goodness. So I only have some of the select hits from the original collection. But I did have a Blu-ray of the 7th Star Wars, so The Force Awakens, which we watched, and I was like, this movie was great. That's the first one after Return of the Jedi, of the newest three.
Yes.
Where you meet Rey.
I get the
Kylo Ren.
That's great.
It's actually it's really good.
It's
so
really
we had a
good,
little bit of that going on.
That should have been it.
Well, you had to
They
flesh out
botched
Luke
the
Skywalker.
other stuff, though. They kind of.
The ending was pretty good.
Did anybody need to see Luke as kind of like a curmudgeon? I don't think so. I don't think that's what that wouldn't. That
Return of the Jedi it could have ended right there. But I thought Rey was cool and BB-8's great.
No, I thought that one was very good. Yeah,
it was. And then Saturday night, we ended up watching. Arden had one of her friends over, and I'll tell you about what else happened on Saturday night that was insane.
Okay.
We watched Inception. I've
seen that one time.
What a movie!
And it was great.
Oh,
but I've only seen it the one time.
Worth watching.
It's never
again.
on anything.
No,
I don't see it on the streaming. I don't.
Absolutely worth watching again. It is awesome. All the details are awesome. Boods was locked. Like he was. Normally they watch stuff and they're like half watching, half scrolling.
Sure.
He was like, and it requires you to be if you want to have any idea of what's going on. And then it has
DiCaprio in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It has an all-time ending, an all-time where you can interpret the ending any number of ways.
Yeah. I think I've only seen that once. I loved it, but I haven't seen it again.
Big recommendation.
Okay.
I think you'd enjoy it.
Write that down.
So, number one, my mom got a huge kick out of how much you were laughing at the beginning of Friday's program over the monitor hair debacle.
I was not laughing at what I was laughing at is when I looked over.
When you looked over, how ridiculous
it looked
I know.
that way.
I know, but just the joy of it.
The joy of it.
The joy of it.
But not of your shame, but of any way, or your anger or any of that.
I know, right.
I'm always pro-Z. It was just a matter of we look at that monitor when it's on. I'll look at it. Okay, we're on. The stream's up. Great.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I had seen it with these cameras, and you looked like Telly Savalas.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad because we watched it on YouTube. It was not as bad on YouTube.
Well, that's what they
said.
said. Yeah,
but it was still funny.
Yeah.
And so she got a kick out of that anyway.
Yeah.
So Saturday, and you tell me if I should name names here. I've got to call into this place. So Arden, my sweet Arndrea, all grown up and grown up good.
Oh, she's grown up and
she's going to be 16 on Thursday.
Oh, baby.
So she'll be driving. So we had a party for her this weekend, and I said, what do you want to do? She wanted to invite a bunch of friends. So reservation for 15 at a hibachi place.
Okay. Oh gosh. All right.
And then you tell me if I'm calling them, so I don't know if I need to publicly shame them, but you tell me.
All right, go.
So reservation, make it like 3 weeks in advance. 15. That's a big.
It's a big
group. Clearly, this is a party. I said it's my daughter's 16th birthday dinner.
Yep.
Please note that.
Yep.
Noted. So we get there, and now I'll remind you, we have 12 kids being dropped off by their parents who have traveled from various places to Wasabi. So, well, there it is. Oops.
There's only two options.
Oops. So we get there and there's nobody like in the parking lot, and we're like,
yeah,
we can't be the first ones here.
No,
on a Saturday.
No.
So everybody gets
what
together.
Time's the reservation?
We got the whole group 6:30.
Okay.
Everybody gets together. We got the whole group there. We then go and start to walk in.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
And on the door is a piece of paper like this with colored pencil. It says, closed power outage. Closed due to power outage.
What?
Now, that happens, and that's out of their control.
First of all, I don't know that I believe that. I feel like there would be generators, usually something that would wipe out like a power outage at a restaurant would be like a natural disaster.
Right. And meanwhile, there were restaurants all around them open.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't believe.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
So that's what it says.
So colored pencil on a piece of paper, this is the way that we're going to.
Closed power outage.
Okay.
Don't you think if you're going to make this decision to be closed, that you would call someone who had made a 15-person reservation for a birthday party?
I would call everybody who made a reservation.
Period. Yes. Yeah. Only two of you? Listen, we're not. You might want to make other accommodations because we're not open.
That's right.
Nothing. Not a word. Nothing. So now we're there.
Well, now you got 15 people on a Saturday and no way to transport them.
No. So we call the Hana. They were like, it's like, hey, weird question. Can you get 15 of us in right now?
Right.
Like 9:30. Nope.
Yeah.
And then one of the kids was like, well, try Samurai, which was on Aurora Road. So I tried Samurai, and the Samurai was miracle of miracles, able to take us in 15 minutes, which was the amount of time it would take to drive there. So we got all 15 in. We had the 2 tables. We had our own little section. It was great. So shout
did you
out
have
Samurai.
to bring the
Thank
parents
you.
back? And then
so then we had to get like Nana's carpooling people. I'm carpooling people. Arden's friend who drives is carpooling people. And then one of the parents just happened to still be there and took 4 kids as well. So,
oh my God.
So then we go. We have a lovely time, great meal. Everybody has a lot of fun. But now you're coordinating. Well, actually, you're going to pick up from here.
Yeah. So you're texting a bunch of people and saying.
So I was livid,
as you should be,
because now it fortunately kind of worked without a hitch, other than having to drive an extra 15 minutes.
As lucky as you can possibly get.
I think there's a 1% chance that worked out the way that it did.
I would have said there was a 98% chance you're doing Panda Express.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Because like, even if you went to a normal restaurant, hibachi just kind of is set up for the group.
Yes.
We're not getting a 15-person table at any kind of a restaurant.
That's what I said. Like, I think you're probably doing fast food and you're going back to your house and making the best of it. So it's incredibly lucky that you found
But I'm
someplace.
like pissed.
You should be. Yeah. It's outrageous. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna.
Yeah. I think you're.
I don't even know what I want from them. I do want an apology. I don't want like anything because I don't know if I'd ever. And I like it. And the thing that stinks is it is the best hibachi. It is. Like they hosed us.
This is the LD didn't get the full bow.
I got no bow.
No bow.
I didn't even get a BS bow. I got no bow.
0 bow.
I bowed and there was nobody. Poof, they were gone. Nobody was there.
That's insane to not call people. I mean, I don't know.
A party of 15, and it says in the notes it's the girl's sweet 16 dinner.
Jeez,
not even a call.
I mean, I just think about like if I don't, just with the 5 of us, if we're doing youth sports or something, and let's say that I haven't taken something out for dinner, or let's say I just don't feel like cooking, and it's 6 o'clock on a Saturday, and I'm like, where can we get in? Pretty limited.
Yeah,
with
bro.
5, let alone 15, man. I'm like, that's why I thought it was going to end with fast food is what I thought. Fast casual joint, something. I didn't think there's any way you'd get in. Pure luck.
Pure luck.
Pure luck. Yeah.
Pure. I mean, and I'm sure this place was thrilled because that's a nice little paycheck that they
works out well for them.
On 15 minutes.
Everybody wins.
Everybody won. Well,
oh my God.
But yeah, so that was a little wild.
Friday I had Beamsy. Look, it's been raining like crazy. Like, we got to get these games. We got to get these lacrosse games in. So we played. We played in Hudson. It was we played Revere, and then Brunswick was there too. And they put 3 teams on the middle school field to try to get these games in, which I applaud because, like, if you don't play them, you don't have, it's over. Like, you can't. The weather's god awful. Oh, beautiful today, but like normally awful this time of year. So if you remember Friday, it had been cold rain all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
So on the hour by hour, at around 7 when we were supposed to start, the rain was supposed to give up. Well, it did not. And so while the air temperature was 40, the feels like was about 32.
Yeah.
And the wind was blowing. And so it was about as
Bone
cold
chilling
as I'd been
Yeah.
in non-freezing temperatures
Yep.
to watch sporting events. But we got that done, and then we had stuff all weekend. But we were at my wife's cousin's baby shower. She did something that was so one of the most intelligent things I've ever heard on a baby shower. She told her mom, I don't want a bunch of gifts. I don't want people around in a circle watching me
Open gifts.
Yep. So right away I go, yeah. Because initially when my wife said, yeah, we're going, I'm like, do
No.
me and the boys go to a baby shower?
No.
I don't think that's us. She's like, no, trust me. I think this is going to be great. It's not that. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I've been to these. I know how this goes.
Yeah.
So it was a truss, which is Ohio City, like Tremont, the one on top where you can see like everything.
Yeah.
So it was there. So we went in there. Food was incredible, but she did a party. So they had dueling pianos, and they threw a party. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is like this is a great way to do a baby shower. So Natalie and Thomas it was a great job. The Mays did a fantastic job hosting. I bring that up because
That is great.
The way that they do food there, it is a full snacks situation.
Okay.
So every food is a snack, right? Like everything's tiny plates. Like you get short rib, but it's a bite of short rib, a bite of scallop, and then every plate's like this, right?
Yeah, so
which
it's
is
like
great.
tapas.
All tapas. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Unbelievable seafood spread, all of it.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think is in hog heaven about a full snack dinner?
My man, Bootsy
right.
Snacks.
So here is the other thing that you get at Truss. They have a huge balcony. I would just like you to press play and imagine the joy.
A little tag on the rooftop there. Look at He's dancing?
Yeah.
Is he moonwalking?
That
Oh,
was
man.
his big move.
It's great.
All week was this little
Little shimmy like Victor. That's like Victor Cruz.
So he would go up to like windows on the outside in front of tables and just
give him a little.
bit of dance. And then you get out on the floor. Mom keeps wanting me to dance. Oh, I guess I'll do it again. You go back out there. It's ridiculous.
Mom's making it.
Yeah, Mom's making him. So no, it was good. It was really good. So good job though. I've never been to one. That's the first baby shower I've ever been to. But even the one that like we had when we had NBC was one of the traditional like all the women go and they eat and then they watch unveil, and she didn't do it. I thought it was brilliant. Really,
It
good
is
job.
good.
It's
Sometimes
really good. It was
people
a party.
need so like
They had them sent. So they live in
Sent.
Colorado. So she
Perfect.
said, send the gifts.
send them.
We'll go there.
Yep.
And that was it.
It's perfect.
But it was great. And then the other, I forgot about this. Amy's Aunt Karen now has a.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How does she feel about what's happened to her name? There was a time when being Karen was
I haven't asked her.
totally was
One of my best
a
friends.
lovely name.
One of my best friends in Hudson's wife is Karen, and we needle her about it quite a bit. I'm not sure she's crazy about it.
It's got to stink all of a sudden. Like your name
Yeah.
is like the name of somebody acting.
There are
badly.
other examples where it would be far worse historically if you have a name that's synonymous. Like you could at least maybe laugh this one off a little bit. But yeah, no, it's not great.
No.
Aunt Karen has a motorized wheelchair now that goes, I don't know, about 190. And in the middle of one of the speeches, she's backing it up and it's beeping. She sidled up to me. I didn't even hear her coming. She flew up to me, drove right up to like the back of my legs. I thought she was taking people out. Then they were telling the story that she's in the casino. She's running people over. She's lawless.
Yeah.
She's lawless in the thing. But God love her. And it
You
was
know
great
what I'd
to
like
see the
to
whole
see?
family. Yeah.
Is she able to come out of the chair?
That's right.
Great.
Yep.
Because I want Bootsy driving this chair.
Oh,
That's what I want.
well, I got one of the. You've seen him drive that Tesla he's got.
Well, if this goes 190, this is a whole different.
Yeah,
ballgame.
this is a different speed. He's not ready. He's not ready for that. No,
I think he's
not
ready. And then
having
he'll dance a little.
it. Give you a little dance. He's so. I guarantee you dance at every party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
That's how he is.
I love
every time. Do you dance, Dad? No, I don't.
So no Fortnite though. You were so pumped about it, but you were. Not
Oh
up
yeah,
to speed?
Friday we were supposed to play.
Yeah.
And so we sit down after all this freezing that we did at the lacrosse, and we sit down to play, and he's giving it to me, and then he was like, "Okay, maybe just watch me." I said, "Okay, how about I just watch you?" So the other two had sleepovers, so just Amy and I and him, and we watched him play Fortnite for like 45 minutes.
Great. Did he get any Vicks?
He finished fifth once,
Nice.
which he was excited about.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to get on there with him. It's been tough. I've had
You had a lot
we had
going
no
on.
internet.
Yeah, that's wild.
Sunday I got to play a little golf. I mudded around. I don't know if it was really golf. I played in
It
the
had to
mud.
be so muddy.
So muddy. I had one shot where I hit actually a decent shot, ball first, and took a nice divot, and I was splattered in the face, mud, shirt, shorts. My legs looked like I had literally gone and just put them into a mud bath.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, at least I was
least
out
you
there
got to
chasing
go.
the ball around.
Yeah, and it's hopefully like the windy, dry sun will help a little bit. I'm sure it's going to get garbagey by the time the weekend's.
Yeah.
Speaking of the golf,
Let me tell you something. A couple things. Number one, let's start with Tiger.
all right, go.
I don't see any scenario, and I'm trying to, in some ways, trying to reverse jinx this, but it also feels like I'm, as The Rock would say, dropping some gospel on you.
Yeah.
I don't see how Tiger can play 4 rounds in a row
Well,
and compete. I just don't see it.
the only thing that I will leave the possibility there for is 4 rounds at the Open on where they get decent weather the whole time and at a place he's very familiar with.
British?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
St.
not
Andrews?
U.S. No chance U.S. Open. No chance
Like
PGA.
a flat St. Andrews?
Flat St. Andrews, relatively warm conditions. Game manage his way around, knows the course. Could I see him doing what Tom Watson did at almost 60 when he really should have won it?
I don't know. I just don't know if he can.
I don't know, but I'm not going to close the door on that. I do think
He was
that you
in
can
agony.
say. I think you can say emphatically that him as a contender or is done. That's cooked. Could he have one more magical thing where he does a Watson? I don't know.
I don't know.
The odds aren't for it, but I'm not going to say no because the advances in medicine and everything else. But no, he's pretty brutalized. The crazy thing is he like makes the cut and he's what, 1 over or
And
even?
and then he.
An 82.
What did he shoot yesterday?
78 or 9. He was finished dead last among those who made the cut.
Yeah.
How about the Shipley guy?
How about
What a story.
What about his boy, who's
What a
just
story.
caddying for him and is now hanging with Tiger?
So he's at Ohio State now.
Right.
He graduated early from James Madison. Now he's at Ohio State. His buddy from high school is caddying for him. His buddy breaks it to him, "Do you know who we're playing with?" And he goes, the story tells is incredible. Like, Tiger? Yep. And then how gracious Tiger was playing with him.
So cool.
That it was basically like he was just having like a walk and talk around Augusta.
Yeah.
on the Sunday of the Masters.
It was incredible.
Come on. That's a Make-A-Wish kid Sunday.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's the way that worked out. And that Tiger was like, cool. Like, Tiger could have just been pissed off that he shot 78 or whatever. It was none of that.
No, he was so
Just
gracious.
So gracious. Yeah.
What do
And
you
then
make of what did he hand you? And then he kind of looked at somebody before he answered and then basically ended his press conference. What did you make of that?
I don't know why he didn't just say, the kid's a little awkward, I
Yeah.
thought. I don't know why he just didn't say, I'll just keep that between us. Like, he would have to be aware that there's a camera on Tiger as soon as he steps on the property, there's a camera on him.
Yes.
So if it's on video that he handed you something, it's on video that he handed you
But
something.
it felt to me like he looked at somebody who was like, if you watch his eyes when he
Yeah.
answers that he like looks at somebody who was like,
Did Tiger hand him something?
I thought so.
Did you? Did you see it, Gibbe? So I didn't see it.
Yeah, suppose when they shook hands,
Uh-huh.
It's on like
Tiger,
the 8th hole.
in the handshake, gave him a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it got brought up.
Like, this is after they finished.
Yes.
Okay.
So someone brings it up in the media
I
gathering.
saw that.
He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And the reporter's like, well, he handed you a piece of paper. We all saw it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't know why he
then
was
it
so.
got
Yeah,
awkward and-
I saw all of
yeah.
that stuff. I don't know why he wouldn't have just said, "I'll just keep that between us."
Correct.
And then who's he looking over to get permission to acknowledge it
Right.
with? I didn't understand that either. And the only thing I could think of, maybe they were betting.
Money? They can't be. There's no.
Even
way.
if they bet like
There's
$20
no
on the
way.
round?
No way.
What else? When's Tiger gonna have time to write him a note?
It could have been his number. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I thought that part was pretty strange. I thought Tiger going and dapping up Vern Lundquist was amazing.
So how in the world though does it look like he's shaking hands with a tree? Was Vern behind?
Because he came down from his perch, which is up that tree.
Yep.
And he came down for Tiger. And so the way that it's shot, it's unbelievable. You've seen the other side, though, right? The video? So there's a video.
I've only
from
seen the picture.
There's a video from
from
the
the
other
other
side
side.
of
Okay.
Tiger coming up to him and exchanging, and then he goes on.
I don't know if Vern was up high at any point this weekend.
I thought he said at one point, I'm in my perch on 16. Do you think he was on the ground level the whole time?
I feel like he might have been on the ground. It looked like a pretty big production. Like you could see, I knew exactly where it was after it happened. So as the golfers were coming through later on in the day, I kept looking over that area and I kept going, there's an awful big setup over there in the trees.
Oh, maybe they put it
Like there
a
was
little
no way
set for
anybody
him
was
there.
hitting over there. I could hit over there.
Yeah.
But
Nobody else.
no one professionally was hitting over in that
Okay,
area.
so maybe they built him like a little studio there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at 83, I don't know if he's climbing up towers. I mean, you almost need the lift.
Yeah, which I think they could get, but I don't know.
I honestly, I don't know if he was up high or not. It was very cool what they did and all the shout-outs and the tributes. And
Nance's tribute to him, and then what did he say? My honor, my privilege were his final words.
Yep.
And this is a guy who the two most
Vern.
famous lines in my estimation that have ever been uttered on a broadcast, yes, sir, with Jack, and in your life with Tiger. That's as synonymous as anything ever. I mean, it's more so than even Nance.
And he
Like
called
Nance
Art-
is the voice of it, but I mean, in
Yes.
terms of the calls, like those are like,
Yes.
I mean, that's Vin Scully, like where you know it immediately.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, and I do not, in your life, like that's it. Tiger and Jack?
That's it. Yeah.
Jeez, that was awesome.
and he's also called the greatest college basketball game of all time.
He did, yeah. And I told you guys when I in New Jersey. Did I tell you that story last
Yep.
week? Him and Raft, yeah. All right, a lot of Johnny Walker Black. As for Scotty, go.
He's so good. I am upset that I even became aware of this potential labor situation because I would have had he would have been on my team.
You would have won.
Um,
Our little comp. Yeah.
Yeah. He is unflappable. He is just such a pure ball striker. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best. I mean, he is, to me, he is the best in the world at a time where I feel like there are more great golfers than ever.
Okay. This is my only beef.
Okay.
I think there are a bunch of great talents in the
Okay.
sport. I'm not sure that there are, and this is kind of why I think the sport is in a little bit of trouble other than the split and all the rest of it.
I think hold on. Hold up. I'm going to make
Go.
a note real quick. Just a note because I think of what you're going to say.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
I do not believe that there are enough great players motivated to be great at the same time.
Hunger, practice, commitment.
They're not. So,
No,
like,
it's
you have
guaranteed money.
no Rory was worth $250 million in the mid 2015s.
Yep.
Like, he won the four majors from 11 to 14. Then Spieth won his, 15, 16, 17, or 14, 15, 16. Then Koepka wins his 5 in his stretch of time. And you've had Rahm win a couple. Now Scotty's won a couple. Like, they don't have to grind. I don't know that any of them have the desire and hunger to be great. So, yes, he's really good. There are a bunch of really good players in this era. None of them are transcendent at all in terms of making people other than golf people watch. They don't. And then beyond that, because they're not all good at the same time, or even a couple of them aren't at their peak at the same time, we don't get these great finishes. Like, we don't get – there should have been somebody staring down the barrel with
They
him.
all collapsed.
The back nine was
They all
one
collapsed.
of the most
did, but,
boring
like,
back nines of the Masters. I've
Homa's
seen in a
not in
while.
that league. Maybe this Oberg kid does. Maybe he's a phenom and he's going to be that guy. That'd be great if that's the case. Morikawa's all right. He's won a couple. But there's not – like Koepka needed to be there. Rahm needed to be there. For this sport, for the sport to be what it was 20 years ago, and I understand because a Tiger will never be like that, but I feel like none of them are – there's not enough instances where they're all good at the same time.
Agreed.
Which sucks. He's great. But is he better than Koepka when Koepka was winning 2 U.S. Opens and 2 PGAs in back-to-back years?
No. What's wild is
I don't know.
He's only won the Masters.
Right. Well, he's won. What has he won? He's won Bay Hill, the Players, and this in 35 days.
He's been the number one player on in the world rankings for 80 straight weeks.
But none of the live guys get points toward that anymore, so they're all out.
Yeah.
So
It
just sucks. Like,
yeah.
Rahm was. I had no time for Rahm all week.
He was
His whining and nonsense.
Why was he acting
People
like
don't
that?
like me. What do you think, dude? You were on the other side of this thing. They wrote a big enough check, and then you jumped.
Yes.
Like, I agree with you. Take the money. I would have taken it. I don't have a problem with that.
For sure.
But don't act like there aren't going to be repercussions. The people aren't going to think you bailed on them.
No, you take when you sell your soul a little bit. Right, there's going to be a
There's a consequence.
There's a consequence, and he should be just fine. But Scheffler's
he's unbelievable.
He's so good, so calm.
Well, he doesn't really.
Steady.
He's expressionless.
He is. That's
so
the
he's
only
not
part.
a star. He's not interesting.
He's not a
in
star.
that
He's
sense.
right. He's like a robot.
Yeah. I
I
told the
think-
boys he's like a video. He's like that video game, the golf video game.
Yeah.
Where once you get it down, you basically hit it straight every
just
time.
right.
That's what he's like.
Yeah. So he doesn't have the personality to captive. I mean, other than watching him play, there's like the shot he hits in on 14 to go birdie. What do you birdie? 8, 9, 10, and then 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
On Sunday at Augusta is and every time somebody got close or tied him, he didn't freak out.
Yeah.
He just was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go make a bunch of birdies in a row because I'm that good."
I thought when Morikawa blew up on 11, that freed him to play totally differently. Like if Morikawa wouldn't have done that, then maybe he would have played with some pressure. But he's basically by the end, by 11, it's over.
It was over.
It's done.
It was
so
like
then it's a coronation.
And then Homa blew up on 12.
Yeah,
And that was it.
that was just unlucky for him.
It was unlucky, but
like that's what I think
he
we're
hit
robbed
it
of.
right on that green.
Yeah,
You know, you got to hit on it. You got to hit the number.
Right.
You got like 10 yards. That's it.
that's it. No, yeah, I love the place. I love everything. I love watching. It's so cool. I wish that we had, like, if you think of these guys who are 25 to 35, right? And DJ's got to be in that mix too. But like DJ, Koepka, Spieth, Thomas, Rahm, Morikawa, obviously Scheffler. Who am I missing? Rory,
Did you
just
say
outside
Spieth?
of it.
You did say Spieth, yeah.
I mean,
Justin
there's
Thomas.
there's 8 guys, right? You want to add Cam Smith, whatever. There's 8, 9 guys who all have all have incredible talent. Some of them have varying personalities, but it feels like they've never all been good at the same time.
What's interesting
Or even a
is,
couple of them have
like,
been
in the
great. They all
Tiger-
have like their windows.
In the Tiger, it was Tiger, and it was
Duvall first.
Duvall, Tiger, Phil were like the only ones. Like now, I guess what I think the point you're making, and I agree, is there are probably 8 to 10 guys who have all been the man at some point,
Yeah.
but they have not really been able to. Nobody's sustained it, and nobody's.
I don't know if there's a hunger to.
He feels like he could sustain. Well, a part of what I was going to say is for people who have watched Full Swing on Netflix, like a lot of their lives is flying around on private jets, playing golf with their buddies who are also on tour for money, gambling. Like that's what I think they enjoy that more than going and playing the FedEx St. Jude.
Right. Yeah. And because they make so much, they don't have to play the St. Jude.
No.
Or whatever. Fill in the blank, wherever they are this week. Because all the money's guaranteed because they've made so much, in large part because of Tiger and what he did with the
now they got
sport.
the sponsors. I mean,
Right. Like if Tiger Woods doesn't happen, this is a very different sport.
Yes.
You're not having a $20 million purse at the Memorial Tournament in the second week of June.
Nope.
If Tiger Woods isn't on this, didn't happen in this sport. So all of these guys owe him that.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's the only thing I wish that they were a couple more of them. I wish they would have a stretch where, like, it'd be fun if right now Koepka had the form that he had when he won the 5 and Scotty was playing this way.
Yeah, thanks for nothing this weekend, Brooks.
Made the cut.
I just wish
They don't care, but he didn't care.
No, Rom was the worst of them by
Yeah,
far. He was
what a
awful.
crud.
Total crud. And all I'd ever heard on him was good stuff. So I was shocked. By the way, speaking of Augusta, Master Previtz, our personal shoppers, crushed it down there in the gift shop.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
absolutely killed it.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Good stuff. Do we have players here?
We do. The boys are back in
They're
town.
back in town.
The boys are back in town.
Off-season workouts have officially begun. Players are here for the voluntary part. Phase 1's focus on conditioning, lifting meetings, and plenty of tape watching.
Yeah, I got to see a bunch of the guys downstairs. Dr. J.O.K., Newsom, Jack Conklin. Sarah's good to see everybody back in here. And I think one of the things they're going to really try to focus on this phase is the culture that has been built here, and part of that comes from hanging out, spending time with your teammates, and I think we'll get opportunities to do that as we travel around later on this year. But it's good to see everybody back.
Yeah, very much.
And it's voluntary.
Yeah, not much for an excitement right now. That will be once we get to mandatory. Then you'll have a little bit of have some guys back in the mix.
We had a little trade.
Go ahead, give it to us. Give the people what they want.
The Browns traded Leroy Watson to the Titans for a 2024 7th-round pick. As Gibbe notes, we don't need any more 7th-round picks, but thank you. So this one's an interesting one to me.
Go.
And let me tell you why.
All right.
So we signed Leroy Watson.
Are you doing your Windhorse thing right now? Why would they do that?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do this. But we signed Leroy Watson off of the Niners practice squad. He was a tight end who they converted to tackle. We kept him on our roster the whole time that he was here. I think he played a few snaps here or there, maybe as an extra lineman. Remind me who the offensive line coach of the Titans is.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Callahan.
So clearly Callahan likes him or thinks that there is something there.
Yes. And if that were the case,
It makes me want to be like, oh boy, let's let this play out in training camp. Now the thought could be, we know we're going to draft an offensive tackle, and if we do that early, that offensive tackle's on the roster, and then we've already got 3 other locks on the roster at the position, so we wouldn't maybe be able to keep him. Like James Hudson is competing probably to be the 5th tackle in that scenario. So we might as well get something for him as opposed to just cutting him and letting him go there for free.
yeah, I guess. Now, you bring up a great point. I didn't do that connective tissue of all of that. Now, why would they do that?
By the way, that didn't end up working out, right? Because wasn't that about Donovan Mitchell going to like?
Well, it ended up being the
Knicks.
No, it just was they were getting out of the Donovan Mitchell business.
Utah was.
Yeah. They were going to get out of that business. So that's it. All right, there you go. We have one uniform unveil. You're going to have a lot of them this week.
Good.
So we'll get that. The Texans, what they're not doing is stunning to me. So we'll have a little fun with that coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Beau here for my team at Renew Home Exteriors. It's time to update the exterior of your home. Are you tired of that same old vinyl siding? Upgrade to the future with Renew Home Exteriors composite clad siding during their spring siding sale. Composite not only outshines vinyl, but it comes in 20 vibrant, maintenance-free colors to suit your style. Imagine a stunning exterior without the hassle. Renew Home Exteriors composite clad siding. They're your answers. Renew Home Exteriors, superior products and superior service. Visit renewestimate.com for more. Jets unveil their new uniforms, which are their old uniforms. The Sack Exchange.
Are they, though?
They're the Sack Exchange. That's what they are. Here's the thing with the Jets. The uniforms that they wore in the 90s, this is like the Klecko,
But that doesn't-
Gastineau.
Did they
all of
have
that.
the alternate color like that?
No, I don't think they did. I don't know.
I
why
don't
they would
like
keep
that color.
The
That looks
white one?
terrible.
Yeah, it's not. So here's what I don't understand, I guess, about the Jets. This look was a look that they got rid of, and they went to the Namath look,
Which was a great look.
which is great. And then they bailed on the Namath look
for,
to go for that Saskatchewan Roughriders look
yeah.
that they had. This is fine. This is nice. I think the Namath looks better.
The Namath does look better. In fact, they should have had the white on white should have come with the white lids. Now that you're able to have 3 helmets,
Yeah.
add that in as a white lid on the white over white. You have black over black with black. You'd have. See, I think on the green uniform, that white collar is god awful.
It's not great.
I think it's terrible. On the white uniform, it's not as bad, but on the green uniform, it is god awful. Yeah, they didn't have that. Those are beautiful.
This is the Namath one.
Yeah, with the white kind of sleeve. Yeah, I like that.
Beautiful.
One. Pull up the real sack, like a Mark Gastineau or a Klecko, because they do say it's a modernized version of it. But I definitely don't remember the off-color. They did?
It just wasn't as obtrusive, smaller.
Interesting.
But like this wasn't. Nobody in the moment thought that's the greatest uniform in sports.
No,
It's not.
It looks like a practice jersey.
Right. It's not as good as this.
No, that is a much better.
It's a much cleaner look.
And it's unique to them.
For sure. Yeah.
I think the size of the collar is obnoxious.
It is. Yeah, I agree. But it's an improvement on what they have been wearing.
Yes. To me, though, your uniform is a fail when your black on black is by far your best uniform, if that's not one of your colors.
Yeah, I mean, you know where I stand on that. Like, it's not one of their colors. I don't think they should.
But that's
use
their best uniform by far.
It is, but it's a cheat code.
Yes.
You know, like black's a cheat code. It's going to look good juxtaposed to any color. We're probably the only team in the league who couldn't wear black. Everybody else could wear black, and it's going to look.
We could have a black with.
You can't have black and brown.
No, you wouldn't have brown. You do black with
then you're
orange and white.
Then you're the Bengals, so you can't do that. You can't have black, and you can't be the
We don't.
Steelers. So that's why
No.
we're everybody else though. Probably could the Bears maybe not wear black?
No.
Almost everybody is going to
everybody
look
can
good
wear-
with
yeah.
black.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. But they're better. They're better than what they've previously worn. So I'm for that. Looks like the Jaguars are bringing back their original '90s uniforms.
Yes. Great. Beautiful. I like those uniforms. Loved the helmet, and I loved the prowling Jaguar on the shoulders. Those are great unis.
Do they have a modern incarnation of it? Do they have like a little sneak preview?
They do have a sneak preview. They have a video on X
Oh, here we go on the X.
that I'm pulling up right now.
All right, I'm
Back
watching
by
it.
popular demand. I mean, I
Throwback.
think
Yeah.
the prowling Jag should be on their. That should be their logo.
Don't you remember that it was?
Yeah, and they got rid
And
of
then
it.
Jaguar said, "Actually, you can't use that."
Oh,
The car company.
The car company
The
said.
Jacksonville How many of the kids know this? You guys aware of this?
Yeah, I feel like their original helmet was that.
Their original helmet was silver, and they actually sold like some of the Hutch mini uniforms. Like there's some of them out there. It was a silver hat with a leaping Jaguar
Yeah.
on it. And the car company said, "Nope, I don't think you're going to use that." And so that's how then they went to like the face and then more of like a prowling, swiping Jaguar,
Yeah, which I like that.
which
guy.
is cool. But the original one they had, the original helmet they had was a silver hat.
I didn't remember that being silver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember the black version. I remember the black, like that Jag used to be on the side of the. Oh yeah, there it is, the silver.
Yeah, look.
I don't remember those uniforms.
Well,
Did
they were never
actually
worn.
wear them?
No, they were never
No.
worn.
Okay,
They had to bail on them right away.
got it.
But when they announced the franchise name, this was the one.
Got it.
I mean, it's pretty cool. That's a good-looking uniform with the silver hat.
yeah.
Look at that sucker.
Yeah, no, I like
That's
that.
good.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. They actually sold it. Yeah, like Riddell sold some of them.
Didn't they have that logo though on?
Not that one. They had to get rid of that leaping Jaguar on everything because of Jaguar, the car company. Said can't have it. We're not having it. So they've only had the one like the cat like slapping at the thing. And
But
then they
there
had
was
the
a
face.
was there ever a time where their helmets had the full body of a Jaguar on it? Or
I don't think so.
No, it's always just been the head.
I think it's always been the head. I got news for you. The
I got news for you.
who the hell was their quarterback?
Mark Brunell, David
No,
Garrard,
no. More recent that they drafted high out of UCF.
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles.
Yep.
The Blake Bortles ones were pretty good. Those uniforms were they got buried because they had the gradient helmet.
The helmet was terrible.
The helmet was terrible.
uniforms were
But
fine.
the uniform was pretty clean.
Yeah.
It was a pretty sharp uniform. They looked pretty good in those.
Yeah. Had some good teal. Yeah, those had some nice teal. But that kind of had that very 90s blockiness to it.
It did, but like that's pretty good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, that's better than what they've been wearing.
Yes, which are very
which are
like
just
bland.
so plain nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That
They're-
throwback will be good. The throwback will be good.
Throwback will be good. I assume they'll go with the teal top on that, and is probably what they'll do, like the Brunell teal top, Fred Taylor, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Baselli. The Lions are going to unveil their new uniforms this week as well, so you will get those coming up. I have not heard anything on what they're doing.
I hope it's figured a way to get that awesome lion into it. That's what I hope.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do.
because their ones that they wear now are kind of a modernized classic.
Yep.
So usually you weave away from that. So will they try to do
Cool.
like a futuristic thing? Doesn't
I
seem
hope
like it
not.
would fit with Dan Campbell.
No.
To me, it feels like the biggest home run up there is you just went wear what Barry wore.
Where Barry Sanders is. Yeah.
That seems like that would be the simplest way to do that. Did you see the Texans, by the way? The images they put out?
Yeah. What are they doing?
So the new one, the white over navy one, which we thought was an improvement of what they've been wearing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But then they're going to keep their home ones, the blue ones with the stupid red stripe that look like a creative uniform. They're keeping those as the primary home.
why?
I have no idea. And then they're going to have a bold bull, which I think is going to have a red hat. And then they're going to have the H-Town blue, which will be, their version of the blue that the Oilers have.
But with their same logo.
With Texans,
Do we know
stuff,
what it's
I'm
going to
sure.
look like?
Nobody knows.
Nobody's seen the H-Town blue.
No. And nobody's seen the red one either that they're wearing with the red hat. I think this third helmet thing is going to be a mess.
I don't think so.
I think there's going to be
I'd
a
like
lot
it
of
to be
people
good.
that screw it up.
Fourth group wanted H-Town front and center, wanted Houston's blue. Why the Texans uniform redesign process had to be the most transparent and fan-driven in NFL history. They just posted something about this. It's funny, their model of their H-Town blue with the red and the logos is Obo Okoronkwo. And he is a Cleveland Brown.
Yes, he is. Yeah. The blues, I mean, it should look pretty crisp, though.
So those should be all
That'll
they
be the
wear.
best ones.
That should be all they wear.
My guess is they'll look a lot like how Ole Miss looks when they wear their sky blues.
Which is okay.
I like it.
It's not as good as the Oilers.
No.
Because I really think they need to, when they wear their H-Town blue, they've got to wear a white lid.
They have to. Yeah, they got to wear a white lid with them.
Which if they do, but that's where three helmets helps, because you're going to have the red, you'll have the blue, and then you'll have the white.
Yeah. Do we need three, though? Can't you just wear the white helmet for the home?
Of course, but that's because we like that. But no, they want to have that red out.
And then they want to have the blue.
Yeah, the blue's the traditional.
Yeah.
We could, I don't know what our third helmet could be.
Brown.
It's a lot of brown, brother.
That's a lot of brown. The only thing you could do is
We needed gray to be incorporated as a color, and then we could have done like a Tennessee where it's like a gray
a little
out
bit of gray.
and with orange popping off of the gray.
Well, that always looks clean. I mean, Tennessee looks good in that.
Yes.
There's probably not. I mean, you're going to wear white, and but look, it's just like saying, well, what do you want the third helmet to be with the Steelers? You don't need a third helmet. You know.
So for the Steelers,
They could go white.
That's what I was saying. I'd posit there could be a beautiful black helmet. They could have a nice yellow, which they do as an alternate sometimes, and then they could have a white.
A white.
Which
Yeah,
would
you
look
could do
really
that.
crisp.
Yeah.
White with a
so
black.
Brown's the only one we could do, and it would have to be.
Ugh.
I can't even imagine a Browns brown helmet. Yeah,
I can't see
I
that.
don't see.
Maybe I lack
The only way
vision.
you could do it is if like the brown was so dark that it was almost like
Black.
musket, like it was
Yeah.
almost black. Like it would have to be so dark. It would be kind of your only way of that. So fun week for that on the uniform front. We will go around the league coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Don't miss Billy Joel, Rod Stewart together first time ever. It's Friday, September 13th, Cleveland Browns Stadium. Oh, that's right. I didn't stutter or stammer. Tickets are on sale now. You can visit clevelandbrownsstadium.com/BillyandRod2024 for more information.
Billy and
Now you're
Rod 2024.
They're together, and it's one night only.
One night only.
Some news around the league. 25 NFL teams kick off voluntary off-season workouts today.
Yay.
Big news in the division out of Cincinnati. T. Higgins says he will remain with the Bengals for at least this season. He talked to the media Sunday at a youth football camp saying, I've grown to love Cincy that I didn't think I would, but, man, I'm looking forward to it, acknowledging that he will most likely be a Bengal this season. They did this with Jesse Bates most recently, where they just let it run out. And It sounds like that's what they're going to do with T. That they're going to take a swing at all the marbles, and knowing that they are much better with T. Higgins and what they could get for him, and so that's what they're going to do, and then he'll walk after this season, which is crazy.
It is
to lose
crazy.
an asset for nothing, but I guess if it manifests in a Super Bowl, which is where their heads are at,
we'll see. It'll be interesting. It's good for them though, because you need to have your studs. It's a weapons league, and T. Higgins is very much a weapon.
Yeah. It's wild though, right? To lose a guy who would T. Higgins net you a first-round pick right now?
Probably, but they're going to get probably a compensatory third when he walks.
Yeah, but that's in a receiver-loaded draft. Like, I'd have to look at the draft board. I've spent so little time on it.
They say the
because we don't
receivers
pick
are
till
loaded.
54.
They're going to be loaded every year, though.
That's true. That
so,
part is true.
you're going to be able to replace him for much cheaper.
And he might be harder to trade than I'm thinking, too, because not only are you trading for him, you are then having to sign him
at a big number.
So you have to be a team that has space. You have to be a team that has space. Honestly, it'd have to be a team like Houston before they did Diggs.
Yeah.
That's what it would have been. Like a place like that where you have a rookie quarterback.
Right, and you can afford
to pay him on for
But they're going to want to pay
years.
Nico Collins because, by the way, he's kind of a stud.
Sure. Yeah. When's he up, though? This
is his fourth year.
Is he going into his fourth?
Yeah.
So he played 2 seasons without CJ?
Let me confirm that, but I believe from my prep, this is prep memory.
Prep memory, yeah.
I believe so, and I believe before this year he had been nice, but he absolutely blew up. Yeah, so he was a third-round pick in the 2021 draft, 89th overall.
Yeah.
Rookie year.
Oh, no, this will be his third year.
This is his fourth. I had it right. His rookie year, he had 33 catches for 446 yards and a touchdown. His second year, he had 37 catches, 481 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then last year with C.J. Stroud, he had 80 for 1297 and 8.
That's good.
Quite.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they wouldn't. That's why Diggs works for them because they'll have him for a year and then they'll
pay Nico the next year.
They'll pay Nico the next. The Eagles have extended Devonta Smith on a 3-year deal worth $75.
That's a big number.
I think so too. You haven't really seen that type of. He flashed a few times.
He's really good.
Stuff.
He's really good. Back-to-back seasons with over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's really good. Very efficient. 9 yards a target for his career. He is quite good. But we've never really also gotten to see him be, the guy. Because
they have AJ.
It's always been right. I want to see. I'm going to pull up there. Because I wonder if A.J. Brown is going to be like, wait a second, I need to be the highest paid wide receiver on this team. Or is this an acknowledgement of we're signing him now, he's going to be the one that's here, and the guy that is not is A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown's only 26.
Then I would not do that if I were them. He's only 26. I feel like he's been in the league for forever.
Yeah, 26.
All right, so Devontae's 3 years, 75, we just said.
Mm-hmm.
So that has not been updated. A.J. Brown's contract that he is currently on.
He's only a year older. A.J.'s only a year older than Devonta Smith.
So he's 27. Yep. His current contract will. Let's see what it say. Contract. 4-year, $100 million extension with the Titans. 57 in guarantees. Then he was traded to the Eagles. So he's guaranteed $21 million this season. And then the next few years his base goes up to 15. He'd have a $26 million cap hit next year, $41 million cap hit in 26. So my guess is he'll get extended and restructured as well.
Yeah, that's probably the way that's going to go. So they get that together. DeForest Buckner was extended by the Colts, 2 years, 46.
He's good
on that.
That worked out very well for them. People forget that. He was on the 49ers. 49ers drafted him. Sent him there. They drafted Javon Kinlaw to replace him, and that did not work out the way that they had hoped it would. And then the last one, and this is from not going to happen.
Yep.
Cowboys special team coordinator would love to see Micah Parsons return kickoffs. Quote, Micah, so he has lobbied me in the past just to be the primary kickoff returner. I'm like, Micah, that's the question. You got to go a little further up than me on that one. But I'd love to see him back there. Special teams coordinator John Fossil told Ross Tucker. That's not happening.
No, I don't believe. Has he done his big deal yet? Micah? He hasn't, right?
No. He's got to be, what is this going to be, his 4th year?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to have to do – I mean, they can 5th-year option him, obviously.
God.
You all right over there?
I don't know. We'll see. Why don't we take a break?
Why don't
we? Get it sorted out.
That's a good idea. Drink some water.
I will. Second hour. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, second hour here, Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, this is what I want to do. This is the exercise.
Okay.
We have every team in the league. We have 3 hats that each one can wear. One of the hats, how can I do this without making, one of the hats can't be black unless black is a primary color. Ready?
Okay.
Bills. So they have white and they have red, because that would be Jim Kelly. So they're going to bring out the Kellys.
So you have white, red.
They don't have a blue. They've never
But
worn
they
blue.
should have a blue.
Okay.
Yep.
Miami. That's easy.
White, teal, and a third.
Is it orange?
I mean, I would think that
They could go gray, which might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Dolphin is gray.
Like
Okay.
a little battleship gray.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Jets are done.
White.
They don't have black,
green,
though. So,
black.
boy, there aren't that many teams that just have 2 colors. They're
No.
green and white.
Yeah. But all teams that already have a black that's already in their rotation,
Then we
have
can't
to,
deal with
we
it.
have to
Yeah.
we have to keep that in there.
Patriots,
New England,
white and silver,
white,
are lock. Which is better, the blue or the red?
silver, and then I would like for them, I'd probably like a red lid.
Red.
Yeah.
All right. Just trying to think if you could do anything like with the, when you think of like the Revolutionary War,
So you do like a
black, but then black's not in their colors.
no.
All right. Ravens have black. They have purple. Would you go white or gold?
I don't really get the gold in there when they.
It's
pull
for
out,
the
like,
stupid.
those
They love
gold
that
pants-
flag.
Those gold
Gotta
pants.
be
The
they
the
wear.
Maryland
Simone
flag.
thing.
They love. They
The
love
Maryland
that
flag's like red,
red, yellow,
and
black. That flag's crazy.
Yeah, it's a cool flag.
Yeah. I actually wish they'd lean into the gold a little more. I think it's kind of a cool color scheme to be purple, gold, and black.
Yeah,
But they really don't. They wore those gold pants just
Gold-
once.
when they don't look good.
No.
So I don't want them to wear.
I don't think it should be like a soft gold. It should be like a Niners gold. That should be their gold.
Why can you have a sweet white lid with
Oh, that would look very good.
a black raven and a purple stripe? That's why I go right.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
Go white. Us. Not much we can do.
White, orange. It would have to be like a dark brown.
Do you do the brown helmet with the orange numbers or brown helmet with a white number?
I'd have to be orange. I'd have to be white. So I
don't know.
I know I'm in the minority here. I don't love brown over orange. I'm brown over white over brown over orange.
Yeah.
From our uniform scheme.
Yes.
I like us in brown tops, white pants.
Yep.
I understand cardiac kids, everybody loves them, but I don't. I like the brown over white better.
Yeah.
So when you say that, I think the white numbers would pop more. I think
For sure.
the orange would get lost a little bit. Steelers, we did. You just would do white.
Yeah.
Bengals. I think so. What's crazy? Like,
They should have a black lid.
well, they did. What color is their lid? Is it orange or is it black?
Orange with black stripes.
Because they have the stripes.
But I would do a black with orange stripes.
Just inverted.
Yep. And then you have the white with black stripes
Yeah,
that they already have.
it's pretty amazing. Like their first uniform was just our helmet with Bengals on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
It's also wild because they have a leaping tiger that's pretty cool. Like they could put that guy on the side of a helmet. A white helmet would look pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think their stripes look good. A black one would look
They
awesome.
love them down there.
It's a good helmet.
Yeah.
It's a good uniform. The whites are incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Houston.
So,
So you're gonna have blue. You're gonna have red, and my guess is you'll have white.
red. Yep.
I think the H-Town blue would be cool on a helmet.
I was just about to say.
That light blue.
Well, I
would
think
look
that's what
pretty
you
cool.
should have. They should have white with that H-Town blue, the H-Town blue, and then they should have red.
Mr.
They
Bishop
should not
in the
have
front
navy.
row.
That's it. He got there. Get rid of the navy
Yeah,
helmet.
no navy. H-Town blue, white, and then the red would be the only one that you could, if you wanted to have the navy in there, you could. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there's no need.
Jacksonville. Black is their primary.
Black, white,
Give me a teal.
and a teal.
Go teal. Here's the reality. White helmets are pretty good.
White helmets are great.
They always look good.
They're cheat codes.
They are almost cheat codes.
All right.
You could do a gold for Jacksonville, too.
Yeah, but they had that like gold gradient.
That failed.
Yeah.
Colts are blue and white. They have a blue
And
one.
they have a black.
And they have a black.
Didn't they debut that against us?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Indy
Knights, which are just outside of the combine. What are Indy Knights like?
I don't know.
Other when everybody's down there. Tennessee.
Tennessee has navy,
They have navy. They've worn white.
white, and then
Would you go silver? That might not be bad because the Oilers wore silver hats at one
like a
point.
silver would be good.
Yeah. Kansas City's red. You do white.
All right, KC, red,
Yellow?
white. You'd have to do a yellow lid.
Have to be yellow. Raiders. Silver,
Although
black.
it would be pretty cool with like the black helmet with like a red arrow.
Yeah. Black's a cheat code, though.
Yeah, it's not in there.
Vegas.
Silver, black, and white.
Home run.
That'd be awesome. I don't know why they just wear the silver, right?
Yeah. Broncos are going to do it. So now they're going to – are they going to wear – they're going to have a white one. We know that. They're going to have – are they going to have the Elway Blues?
They should have an old blue. They have a white, and then they have the navy.
So they won't do an orange helmet.
I don't think so. They should.
Yeah.
They really should do the old blue, white, and orange
Yeah.
with the old logo.
Just the old everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a lot of that. Chargers. When do theirs get debuted? Broncos got to be this week, too. Everybody's this week.
Chargers.
Some go to the
white.
22nd.
22nd, Griff, for the Broncos? 22nd for the Broncos.
There you go.
They should have a white.
Yep. They have it.
I mean, I don't care for the navy throwback Ladanians,
I
but
don't either. But they probably should have them. They wore them for a long
yeah.
time.
So a navy, and then they should have a powder blue.
The powder blue.
Powder blue would be smooth for them.
A powder blue helmet. Yeah.
All right. Cowboys. They have white. They have silver already. Do you go navy?
That cowboy blue.
I don't even know what color that is.
Yeah, I'd go
It's
navy.
like an aqua.
Navy. Giants, red, white, blue.
Yep. Eagles. Silver.
Philly, silver, green,
Green.
black.
And black. Washington needs a rebrand.
Washington, so they should have maroon,
Yep. Yellow.
yellow,
White.
and white. They have black though.
But that's stupid. It's ridiculous.
They have that whole
It's
uniform
awful.
set. That
They gotta redo that thing.
okay.
Lions. The blue would look good.
Blue. They have a blue, don't they?
They do this
Yeah.
year, yeah. Yep.
Blue.
Yep. Honolulu blue.
silver, and then they have black.
They have black, but they could go white too.
black. Yep. Okay. Chicago,
Packers.
Green Bay. Green,
Yellow, green.
yellow, white.
That works. Vikings, the white was unbelievable that we thought they were going to wear with their white uniform. I
need-
can't believe they didn't.
White, purple, and then they could do a yellow.
They could.
Do they have a black? They don't have black.
I don't think they put it in there, but I don't think they do.
Okay.
Yep. Same with Bears.
Navy, orange, white.
Yep.
There's so many teams that should have white.
Just to
helmets
have
that
white,
don't.
yeah. Bucks, white,
So you have the white
the
throwback.
pewter,
You've got pewter, and then you should have an orange,
Give me the creamsicle.
creamsicle
creamsicle
orange.
hat.
Yeah.
Black would be pretty cool with them too.
Black
A
and
black hat with a creamsicle.
Yeah. Do they have
With that
black
orange?
in there?
They do.
So
Yeah, they have like 5 colors. They have red, orange, black, pewter, and white.
Yeah.
Saints, self-explanatory.
Black, gold, white.
Yep.
'Kay.
Falcons, black, red,
Black,
silver.
red, silver, or I think a white would look real nice.
Here, I think white's like a black uniform. It's a cheat code, white helmet. But I think silver with Atlanta would be pretty cool.
Carolina, silver,
Black.
and then blue.
Yeah. Niners, gold,
Gold,
white.
black, and white.
I wouldn't go red. I'd go
I would
white.
not either.
Ram it.
So they've got
They got bright blue,
blue. They should have a white
and you go yellow.
and or a bone.
They could go bone. They have bone. It's part of their colors. Or is it sand? Is it
Sand.
bone or
I think
sand?
it's
I don't know what it
sand.
is. I get them confused. Seahawks got silver. They've got navy. And they've worn green, too, haven't they? Or white.
The uniforms.
They've worn white. They've had white. They've white.
They could wear a white hat.
Yeah, white would look real nice. Arizona, white, red, black. Yep.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's not too crazy.
No, most of them are pretty traditional.
Yeah.
With the way it goes.
An orange, the orange Dolphins helmet, like that's one I'd want to see.
Got to
that
wrap my
before.
head around that before I
Yeah.
co-sign that sucker. Ohio State had its spring game on Saturday. 80,000 folks in attendance. It was broadcast on Fox.
How was the broadcast? Like, what are you talking about while that's going on?
So they did what I thought that they would do, which is they basically said, here's Jason Benetti, who was doing the play-by-play, Joel Klatt, Urban Meyer. Brady was really eighth fiddle. He was really pushed aside. I like Brady a lot, but, like, he was really pushed aside because Klatt was on the field with Ryan Day. So Ryan Day was almost part of the broadcast. So you would hear him saying, all right, if 18 comes down, then we got to hit it behind him. And then when they wouldn't, he would say, oh, we're late on that, stuff like that. So you got incredible
cool.
insight into, like, a head football coach's mindset during a practice/spring game.
Yeah, that's cool.
The most telling thing, and I think here's the other thing. Urban's great at television. He's
Always
great.
has been good.
Yeah, you go way back. I mean, he's just really good.
Yep.
He's good on the studio show, and I understand why they put him there because he's the franchise on the studio show, but he's better calling games. And I know they love Klatt. Klatt's really good, but, like, man, I think Urban on games would be – as this expands, I think you want him on.
When was
more
it
games.
McDonough and him on ESPN? They would
And
have, like, the
Spielman.
noon game.
It was McDonough, Spielman, and Urban.
And Urban.
And they would do the noon game that one year he was off between Florida and Ohio State. The most telling thing, remember I told you guys about wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, freshman? So they get in. Will Howard and Devin Brown are fighting. Will Howard's a transfer for Kansas State. Devin Brown's been there. They're fighting for the quarterback job. There's three guys behind him, two of which are five-star freshmen. One's the number one freshman in the country. They didn't look ready, but Howard and Brown are kind of fighting for the job. Howard's going to win it. I'd be shocked if he didn't. But anyway, they're inside the red zone, and one of the things I predicted on Friday was they are going to call a play to show the world what Jeremiah Smith is all about. So they called a fade. Right?
Yep.
Simple fade. And before it snapped, Ryan Day says to Joel Klatt, watch this. Okay?
Okay.
So before it snapped. Now, Will Howard throws it late and underthrown.
Okay.
And you can hear Ryan Day groan. Like, too late.
You blew it.
You blew it, boy. Too late. So what do they do the next play?
Run it again.
Run it again.
Throw it on
What's
time.
he do again? Late. He goes late again. Like, you could tell he's, like, annoyed that he's late. So then the third throw, they go to Emeka Egbuka, who would have been he could have tested himself into the first round of this draft, but he's ended up being a first rounder next year, and he overthrows him.
Good God.
So, like, I think the Ohio State experience is this. It's the most talented team they've had since 15, top to bottom. There is no hole. The defense is nuts. The kid from Alabama is nuts. The corners are nuts. All the guys who could have gone pro came back because they made it worth their while. So, second, third rounders. JT Tuimoloau maybe could have been a first rounder. Sawyer would have been a second or third. Denzel Burke could have been a first or a second. They all came back. So the defense is crazy. But, I mean, they have stud running backs, two of them, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, who led the SEC in rushing the last 2 years. Studs at receivers. But I don't think they got a dude at quarterback. I think
And that's a problem.
it is. Now, do you need to be? Maybe not with this roster. Maybe you don't. But I think if the freshman would have been better the last week, like Sayan was pretty lost in the spring game. And I understand it's one practice of 15, but he was not ready for it.
That's him. Gotta be ready. Come on.
He should be going to prom. He's a senior in high school. Like, he's not even.
Should be a boutonniere on him, not a
semester,
helmet.
Yeah, he should be like in track season.
Yeah.
But instead he's there. So I don't know.
Did he at least flash? No.
It's so scripted, and the way they do quarterbacks, so you get near them and they're down. So, like,
Yeah, you can't really see the playmaking.
it's hard to know.
Yeah,
It's hard to know.
It's glorified 7-on-7.
But they're doing the Michigan game this weekend, and this will be Fox's. This will be part of what happens. It was a really successful broadcast. I'm curious to see what it rates, but really successful broadcast. If you like college football, you want to see a really good team practice, you could. And guess what? It's going to do more than the UFL is going to do. I promise you that. So it's on from noon to 2 on a Saturday. It's free eyeballs coming to Fox.
So they put that on. Did the Masters? Was
Masters doesn't start until
Till
after
2 o'clock.
2
till
o'clock.
2? So it was
So they went right into the
Perfect.
Masters. Not on their network, obviously,
right.
but
Right.
yeah. So it worked out pretty good on that.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's save this story because we'll work it into the Griff fact of the day as well.
Got it.
Because the next thing it's a little complicated. We'll get to this story in professional sports coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily 850 ESPN Cleveland. Champions League, the free gaming community for Browns fans around the world. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/Champions League to play Madden 24 for chance to win an autographed Deshaun Watson jersey. Oh, we fired up the PGA Tour Masters thing, the PGA game, you know?
Yep.
We were jacked up for golf last night, so I played NBC. And they have the, I guess in the last week, they put the par 3 course for Augusta on it.
That's cool.
Which I've never seen. So it's on there, too.
That's
so,
fun.
Yeah, so it was cool. So it was nice.
That's really cool.
All right, time for the Griff fact of the day.
Fact of the day, fact of the day, fact of the day. It's the Griff fact of the day.
With the Oklahoma City Thunder clinching the number 1 seed yesterday, there have now been 7 different number 1 seeds in the Western Conference over the last 7 seasons. That's the longest such streak since the current playoff format, which started in 1983. The Timberwolves, Nuggets, and Thunder all had a chance to win it. yesterday. It came down to some tiebreakers that the Thunder ended up winning. So pretty.
So 7 different 1 seed every year. The last 7, there's been a different one.
Yep.
So
The Nuggets could have gone back to back if they.
I can't
won
believe the Warriors
tiebreaker.
never went back to back in the last 7 years.
as the one.
Yeah.
Well, let's just.
I have all of them if you want.
No. I'm just trying to think. So Nuggets, OKC, obviously, Golden State, Lakers.
Lakers got it in 1920.
Dallas,
Dallas never got it.
Clippers.
No. One of them
Spurs?
you might never guess.
Spurs?
Not the Spurs.
No, they've been out of the mix because that's after Kawhi.
You have the last 2 and then
Houston?
1920. Houston got it in 1718.
So we got,
So
who do
it's
we have so
Harden.
far? We have Warriors.
And the Warriors in
Houston,
18-19.
Lakers.
Phoenix.
Phoenix won it 2021, 2022. And then there's one more in between those.
And this is the one you don't think I'll ever get?
This one's tough. I wouldn't have got it. 2020, 2021.
Coming out of COVID.
It narrows it down knowing it's not one of these 6.
Sure,
but
yeah. Memphis.
Not Memphis.
Portland.
Not Portland.
All right, now I'm just guessing.
The
I don't
Utah Jazz.
know. Utah was the one?
Yeah, that was the year Donovan Mitchell went nuts.
Huh. Well, no, I wouldn't have had that.
Yeah.
I would not have had that.
This surprised me when I saw it this morning from
yeah.
NBA Communications.
So-
on Twitter.
Admittedly, this has been a sport that I've pushed off my front door I just don't follow it as closely.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, coming out of the NCAA tournament where I'm pretty locked into that. And with obviously the 2 football I pay most attention to. So this is I'll watch this once we get into the postseason. But so I have this right. The Lakers and Warriors, because of what happened over the weekend, can both still get in.
That's correct.
There was fear that they wouldn't be
believe.
able to. So the Lakers play New Orleans on Tuesday.
Yep.
Golden State plays Sacramento. If you are Adam Silver, you are praying to the basketball gods that they both get in. Now the Lakers, if they get in, they have to play Denver.
Yeah.
They have to beat. The only way they both get in is if LA beats New Orleans. Otherwise, they're going to play an elimination game, and one's in, one's out. So that's the only way. So then they would get Denver, so that's a quick trip home. If you're Golden State, like if the Lakers beat, the Lakers would be better off playing Oklahoma City, wouldn't they? I mean, maybe that sounds naive. I'd much rather play Oklahoma City than Joker.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So if the Lakers win on Tuesday, they'll be the 7, and they'll play Denver and get pounded. If they lose to New Orleans and play Golden State and win, they would be the 8 and play OKC.
Yes,
Which
that's probably better.
Doable, right?
I think so.
For sure. I don't think that's a stretch. Why was everybody up in arms about what the Cavs did yesterday? What was this about? Like, this seems pretty smart to me. I was talking to somebody this morning about this, and they said, well, yeah, they should have tried to win because then they could have been the 2 or the 3.
There's a lot
I'm
of
like,
fighting about it.
yeah, to me, like, I would much rather just play Orlando and get to the second round. If
Yeah.
you're the 2 or the 3, there's a chance you'd play Philly, right? I mean,
Right.
again, I'm naive.
No,
Tell me
that's
what
right.
I don't know about this.
No, that's-
I asked
Yeah.
Uno this earlier today. I was like, why are people so upset about this?
Philly and Miami are playing in the 7-8 play-in game. So one of those 2 teams is going to be
would
the
be-
7 seed.
and the
that's
other's
not a good matchup for the Cavs.
No.
And I'd much rather have Orlando.
Give me Orlando. I'll take Orlando.
Yeah.
And I would say success for this Cavs team for me would be defined get to the second round.
The problem was,
So what's the problem?
had they won, the way everything else fell, they would have been the 3. They would have played Indiana, who doesn't play any defense, and we think we would have beaten them. And then you wouldn't have had to get Boston until another round away.
You have
Now, you
to
could have
beat
ended up with
Boston
the
anyway.
Knicks.
The Knicks anyway, though.
That's right.
I think their philosophy was we have to beat the Celtics eventually. If we get them in the second round, it doesn't matter if we get
Well, I
them
just
there
feel
or
like
the
they're
Eastern Conference
probably
Finals.
a better matchup for us than the Knicks.
The
Knicks just feel like they
my
just
hunch would be that if you're
have it.
JB, it's like I just got to get to the second round. I
think
really got to get to the second round.
have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when he saw
so-
the 2 seed was an option, he
Yeah.
said, no thanks.
No, I want to get to the second round. I do not want to play Philly and get bounced and deal with Embiid and Maxey. No, I'm good. We'll play Orlando and then we'll see it on down the line.
Yeah.
Man, this has a potential to be. We talk a lot about ratings. 'Cause it's the only way we can judge what people are paying attention to. if you end up with a Oklahoma City, Denver mess in the West or something like that.
That's what, it feels pretty likely.
If the chalk holds out there,
They need
or
Boston.
even Minnesota.
They need
like if it's
Boston or New
Minnesota,
York to come out of.
OKC.
They need Boston, New York to come out of the East.
They need Boston or New York, yes, for sure. And they need. Well, they're not going to get it. You're going to get I don't see anybody beating Denver.
You could maybe get the Clippers.
They don't have anything.
How are
It's
the
like
Suns so bad?
Angels. I don't know.
Don't they have like everybody?
You got Beal and Booker and Durant, but I don't think they've played much together.
No, they haven't played a lot
They've
together.
been
It's
banged
been
up.
all injuries.
So this happened Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about this last week a little bit, but it happened Friday. There's a sports league in North America.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Sorry.
So, Arizona Coyotes, for the last 3 years, can any of you best guess from any of you, if you haven't read this story, where the Arizona Coyotes have played their regular season games?
They were the
know?
Minnesota
Griff knows.
They were
I'm
the
sure Griff
Minnesota
knows.
North Stars.
No.
Weren't they?
No, that was the Dallas
Did he
Stars.
say they were the Winnipeg Jets?
Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, they were the Winnipeg Jets, and
Oh,
then they
man,
went to Arizona.
Winnipeg.
It's been a mess. So they played out in Glendale forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Hockey
They built
arena
that.
was right there.
It's right there by the football stadium.
Yeah.
As it turns out, the people who like hockey in Arizona, which might not be that many anyway, they don't want to drive all the way across from Scottsdale and the Valley over to Glendale 41 nights
Makes
a year
sense.
to go to games. So they blew it right away with stadium location, right?
Yep.
So then they're like, all right, we got to play somewhere else. We got to get to Scottsdale. We got to get to Tempe. We got to get over there somewhere.
They play in Arizona State.
They do. Do you know what that means?
10,000.
Well, they don't play in the basketball arena. They play in the Arizona State Hockey Arena, which seats 5,000 people. There were NHL players getting dressed in petitioned locker rooms because they're not big enough to host the NHL.
How long has this been going on?
This is the third season of it, Griff, or the second or third?
Why aren't they in the basketball arena?
Third.
I have no idea.
How
Well,
do you
maybe it
not
probably
have
doesn't have the
adequate
ability to do.
facilities?
Probably doesn't have the ability to do ice. So they got kicked out of Glendale. They've been trying to get a new arena. Just 10 days ago, they had a thing like just north of Scottsdale where they're like, we're going to bid on this land, or we're going to build a park and all of this. And the mayor of Scottsdale's like, actually, no, you're not. You're not going to get access to this land. You need Scottsdale water to be able to run it anyway, and we're not going to give it to you. So you're out. So fast forward to Friday when the team is told, hey, guys, next year we're going to be playing in Salt Lake City. We're moving the franchise to Salt Lake City. Now, the NHL has not confirmed that. The guy who owns the Jazz, that Ryan Smith, he's going to buy him. They're going to charge him $1.3 billion for the franchise, which is insane. But the expansion fees the last two timeouts in Vegas and Seattle were $1 billion. So they're charging him $1.3 billion so that they can disperse the $3 billion to the rest of the owners so that they're happy, because they want expansion fees. They don't want $300 million. They want $1 billion, which is what they got from Vegas and Seattle. So they're going to be in Salt Lake City starting next year, and the whole thing of being in the desert botched.
What are they going to be called? The Utah what?
Salt Lake City
You want to
Sasquatch.
call them the North Stars there as a girl?
That'd be fine.
Salt Lake
Hartford,
Sasquatch.
the Whale.
The Whale.
How do you get rid of the Hartford Whalers?
Do you
How
know
does that team
do you know who the
defunct?
Well, I've never been to Hartford. Do you know who they are now?
I'm going to guess the Carolina.
Nailed it. Hurricanes.
Okay.
Got it.
They should be
Yeah.
the Whalers.
The Whale. Yeah.
Aren't they
That
green,
isn't
white,
like-
brown, and blue?
They were green, blue, and white.
Why did the NHL allow that to happen for as long as it did?
The NHL owned, because they didn't want to give up on Arizona. So the NHL owned the team, I want to say, from like 09 to 13. Like for 4 years, the NHL owned the team. It's one of those things, though, like you have an expansion team, you put it in the wrong place, and they just put the arena in the wrong place. Like, do I think hockey would have worked? I don't know why they just didn't play out of downtown, like where the Suns play.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Same size arena.
Right. Why wouldn't you do that? So, but they didn't. So anyway, they're going to Salt Lake City. Smith was told, I guess, last week, like, yeah, you're going to get them. It happened pretty quickly. But like the Delta Center where they play, they've got to make it work for hockey from the sight lines, like the way it's shot. So they have to build a bunch of stuff in the Delta Center to make it work. But they could be there as soon as next year.
God, the Whalers were what great uniforms.
Dude,
What a
Playing
logo.
in
how about the
college
Quebec
hockey
Nordiques?
arena.
The Quebec Nordiques were beautiful.
Stunning.
The white and blue.
Yeah, unbelievable. Meantime, they have not added another franchise in Canada since
Which
they
is
gave the
weird.
Jets back. Like, there could be 2 teams in Toronto for sure.
So the Winnipeg Jets are back?
Yeah, they're back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was the best? There's one guy who keeps popping up in all of these for Hartford. Who was their best guy?
I don't know.
Looks
this
like
guy.
Gordie Howe.
what it
that's
looks like.
Gordie Howe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it looks
that's
like,
Gordie
right?
Howe.
Looks
yeah.
like Gordie Howe.
Yeah. That's Gordie Howe for the Whale. There you go.
I don't really think of Gordie Howe as a whaler.
Red Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody know why Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off wore a Red Wings jersey instead of a Blackhawks jersey?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. It's always bugged me though. Like, why wouldn't Cameron from the suburbs of Chicago?
Be wearing a black.
Why would he not have like a Bobby Hall jersey or an Esposito? Why was he rocking a Gordie Howe Red Wings jersey?
This highlights his alienation to his surroundings. Alan Ruck claims John Hughes told him that Cameron wears a Red Wings jersey because his grandfather in Detroit took him to Red Wings games as a kid, and despite his strained relationship with his father, he had an excellent relationship with his grandfather.
There you go. I knew it had to be a conscious choice. Like, you just don't know.
And it was also his own little act of defiance, saying, "This is who I am," like in your face, Chicago.
It's one of those ones where if that was real life, I would probably say to him, if I was like his contemporary, dude, nobody cares.
You're right.
No one's putting that much time thinking about what jersey you're wearing.
When Cameron
a
was
great-
in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go.
He was a crud.
Oh.
Cameron.
All right, they're all stick in the mud.
Really was. Much better on Succession, where he was just wildly delusional.
It's great.
Yeah, he's very good at
It's
that.
amazing what an actor that he could be so
Quite the
fun
range.
and so quite a great range.
Yeah.
Incompetent, I would say, basically in both.
More competent probably as Cameron,
Yes.
which isn't saying a lot.
No.
Yeah. Some of the great stuff, though, with the other guy in Succession. He was great.
Yeah, it was.
All right, Mel Kiper's NFL Draft Conference Call coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
When do you start to expect, I saw in your 2-round mock draft, you had a few trades. When do you start to expect teams to start making trades? And do you expect Bo Nix and Michael Penix to make it to round 2?
Q, that's a great question. I think trades will happen early. That's why I started to project some. It's my final mock. So in the final mock, I break any rule I had, and there's no rules that you do whatever you want there, and doesn't distort the draft because you're going to start seeing this. And now we know a little bit more from medical and character standpoint, the interviews, a lot of the work's been done. So I think you're going to start early on with the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy or Drake May. Somebody's going to be aggressive there. You could see some teams aggressively try to move up a corner like Quinion Mitchell-Toledo or Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Brock Bowers drops a little bit. Maybe somebody moves up to get him. I'm going to see if Buffalo moves up to get a receiver, which they could. Certainly Dallas needing an offensive lineman as desperately as they do. Are they going to sit and wait? Green Bay needs one as well. So I think there could be a lot of activity there. And then the quarterbacks, as you said, I think Michael Penix Jr., if you can reconcile the medical, he's a first-round caliber quarterback. It's just the 4 injuries at Indiana. It's either going to prevent you or it's going to, if you can reconcile it and you're okay with the medical, he's a first-round caliber player. If you can say, okay, Bo Nix doesn't have the big arm, but I see some similarities to Drew Brees, I can reconcile taking him in the first round. So, again, I would say the Rams are a team. I have them moving up to get Penix. I have the Giants moving up to get Nix. So we'll see. But I think right now that, those quarterbacks are in the mix. They're a borderline first. Will one of the two become a first-round pick? More than likely one of those two will.
With the Bears, is there any scenario where you see them at this point trading at a number 1 and still drafting a quarterback with their top pick? And also, when it comes to number 9, do you see any scenario where they maybe trade up to try to get a Harrison, and what are the odds of them being, getting a deal to trade down with that pick?
Andrew, thank you. I think the Bears, no, I think take Caleb Williams. I think there's no debate on that from what I've been hearing and what I would do, and what also you kind of factor in both, what you think and what you're hearing. So it's Caleb Williams all the way. 9's interesting. It could be Rome Odunze, as I suggested. If he's there, you got to take him. If he's not, do you trade down? Remember, they have right now, you talk about no second-round pick because of the excellent trade which brought Montez Sweat to Chicago. So they maybe recoup a 2, and the Philadelphia Eagles have a couple 2s, and you could maybe get that back by moving down if Odunze is gone. As I say, if he's there, you take him. Offensive line's also an area of need. Maybe they look at an offensive tackle. Edge, maybe a Jared Verse, a Leatu Latu could be in the mix. So they have some defined need areas. It's going to be interesting to see once they get Caleb, what do they do at 9 if Odunze is gone? If he's there, I think they take him. But if he's gone, do they trade out? Do they take a Jared Verse or a Latu? Do they take the offensive tackle after taking Darnell Wright? They're going to have some really interesting options at 9 if Odunze is gone.
We've heard so much that how strong this wide receiver class is. Is that how strong do you view this class overall? Is it really historically strong? Can they, is addressing it late? Options for teams, I guess, how do you view this class overall?
Well, it's 15 in the first 2 rounds, and I don't do the numbers. And when I'm doing the mock, I'm not trying to put wide receivers. I just go by the ratings and the needs and what I'm hearing. And it became a lot of wide receivers, and they're all good. There's some underrated guys that if you want to wait till the second and say, okay, I can move up in the second and get a Jalen McMillan from Washington. I can move up in the second and get a Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, or move up in the second round and get a guy like Jalen Pope from Washington. Okay, I think that you could think it just depends on how they grade these kids and who they like and who they don't like. That's all. But the opportunity is there. There's plenty of opportunities, say multiple wide receivers within the first 5 rounds of this draft.
Mel, we saw the veteran running backs this year in free agency get signed pretty quickly and for better money than they did a year ago. What does that tell you about the running back class this year in this draft? And what are some of the running backs that really kind of stand out to you?
Yeah, you knew it wasn't going to be a first rounder, and you knew that the second round was going to be iffy for Jonathan Brooks with the ACL, after he got hurt on November 11th. So even if you thought going into the year Brooks could be a guy, but he kind of emerged as the year went along. So when you looked and projected in August, you knew this year might not. I said even during the year, you might have a running back go to the 3rd round. Then Brooks has the ACL, and I'm thinking, okay, late second possibly. Something Trey Benson after running that 4.39 from Florida State could be a late 2. Some think you could get maybe, possibly, if you talk about Blake Corum into that 3rd round discussion. I like Jalen Wright from Tennessee in the 3rd, 4th round. But when you talk about early rounders, we just didn't have that in terms of round 1. Maybe round 2 with Brooks. I think Marshawn Lloyd from USC, Audric Estime from Notre Dame, or a couple other guys to keep an eye on. I think when you look at day 3, Rasheen Ali from Marshall. Sione Vaki, who was a safety, played some Wildcat running back at Utah, impressed me there. Jawar Jordan, I thought, would run better than he did at Louisville, but he may get pushed down because of that, like him. Kamani Vidal from Troy is an interesting guy. Jaden Sheridan from Monmouth, tremendous production. He has a nice burst to daylight like him coming out of Monmouth as a day 3 pick. And Dylan Laube from New Hampshire catches the ball out of the backfield, went to the Senior Bowl. They brought him down there. Jim Nagy did. And Laube is a guy, when you get into the 6th, 7th round with his versatility, catching the ball out of the backfield the way he did, makes some sense. So, yeah, you'll always be able to find a day 3 running backs. And last year, the Ravens got a guy, Keaton Mitchell, wasn't even drafted, out of East Carolina, fastest player on the team, had production. He is the son of a player, Anthony Mitchell, in the NFL with the Ravens, doesn't even get drafted and was an integral part of that team until he got hurt late in the year. So you can always, I say that every year, you can always find running backs day 3, and in some cases even as undrafted free agents. The Ravens hit with Priest Holmes back in the day out of Texas. They hit with Keaton Mitchell, and we see it with Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round on a 2-time Super Bowl team with the Chiefs. So, yes, I'm going to hold to that, and a lot of people have jumped on that bandwagon. I was getting ripped for it years ago. It makes no sense. You know, you're crazy if you can't say you shouldn't take a running back in the 1st round, and I've held to that, and I maintain that. I started that about 15 years ago, and I maintain that philosophy. Wait on the running back position, and you can find guys that can be key performers. And a lot of guys that were successful, even winning Super Bowls or getting to Super Bowls, were with the 2nd team. Fournette, 2nd team. McCaffrey got the Super Bowl, 2nd team. So, again, I would definitely always wait on the running back position.
All right, there you go. Mel Kiper Jr., so much more to come. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. right, there you go, kids.
Big Monday.
There you go. Next level's coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Runs Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.